As Steve Harvey says, every successful person, you just got to jump eventually. So guys, if you want to get put on the rocket ship to wealth, you see all these freaking teenage millionaires everywhere, and it really is simple. It comes down to them maturing faster and saying, hey, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I actually did, and I stuck with it. Always push yourself to better. It is never good enough. If you live that life of chasing more and trying to be better, there is no way to fail. And that's what I try to push myself to do every single day, and I encourage you to do the same. We are talking about What's going on, team? Welcome back to another video. We are talking about today building wealth in your teens/young age. These are things that I really wish I would have done in my younger years. I'm not that old, I'm 24, but what I'm talking about is stuff back in the day when I was in my young teens, when I was in high school. I really grew up a lot in college, but especially in high school, I was extremely immature and was very sheltered and had my head in the sand and really didn't do anything to progress my future. All I did, like I've mentioned before in some of my other videos, is play Call of Duty and play Xbox. And that was just about it. I did my studies, did my schoolwork, and that was the extent of my life. And if I would have been doing these things that I'm about to go over with you guys, I would be in a lot different of a situation. I would be farther up the ladder than I am now, and I would have made myself mature a lot faster than I did at that time in my life. So guys, if you want to get put on the rocket ship to wealth, to a ton of wealth when you are young, because if you look around, guys, you see all these freaking teenage millionaires everywhere, and it really is simple. It comes down to them maturing faster and saying, hey, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I actually did, and I stuck with it. They had a good foundation and they built off of that. That foundation was established a lot earlier in their life rather than a lot later when as it did maybe myself or a lot of other people out there in the world. So guys, as usual, all these videos come to you full free from my heart to yours, and I'm doing this simply to be able to provide value to you guys, to help you guys out, to maybe at least change one person's life out there, inspire one person, change one person's life, and just see if I can do some more good in this world of craziness. And all I ask in return is just drop the video a like, and if you want to, subscribe down below, and of course, if you're daring enough, ring that bell to stay up to date with all that is going on here. So without further ado, after you've hit that like button and subscribe down below, of course, we're going to roll into number 1. I would have liked me to read these books, so I want you guys to read these 3 books. First one is Think and Grow Rich. Second one is How to Win Friends and Influence Them. And the third one is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. These 3 books have really been very influential in my life, and I wish I would have read them and really comprehended them and studied them a lot before. And the thing is with books, maybe this is just me, but I can't just read a book. I have to read it and take thorough notes throughout the book, because I feel like when you read the whole book, I mean, I'm not a freaking genius and I do not remember things extremely well, I'll be very honest. So if I just read a book, I'm gonna retain like 10% of the book. And I don't think that's good enough for me. So what I would suggest to you guys, unless you're geniuses, unless you're just so much smarter than me, you don't have to take notes. But I suggest taking notes on these books, highlighting, bookmarking it, and actually taking notes and paying attention throughout these books, so when you go back and actually study the books, no one actually studies the books. They just read it, say they read it and threw it on the bookshelf, threw it on the floor, and never look at it again. The thing is reading the book and actually going back and either reading it again or at least studying your notes and studying the highlights that you have in that book to actually cement the knowledge in your brain. Basically, Think and Grow Rich is really the mental blueprint to achieving anything. It breaks down the most successful guys in history and really analyzes what they do good and the commonalities between all of them, and basically helping you manifest what you want into reality. It's manifesting it in your thoughts, which leads to action, which leads to results. How to win friends and influence them is basically the Bible for influencing people, building relationships, and being able to essentially connect with people and build lasting relationships with friends and business partners, and really being able to communicate with others. And of course, Rich Dad Poor Dad is just a killer book. If you haven't read it, I'm sure most of you had. It just basically compares two lifestyles of the rich dad and the poor dad, and really points out the very obvious things that the rich dad does well and the poor dad does well. And there's both lessons to be learned from that, and that book is an extremely easy read, and none of these are crazy long. Think and Grow Rich is kind of long, but it's a really, really great read, and I suggest you start with those as a great foundation for yourself. Number 2 is find a career. Find something that you can make money with. I've mentioned this before in one of my previous videos, but making money and figuring out what you want to do is like walking down the freaking cereal aisle. I mean, if you don't like cereal, then, you know, this is not a good analogy, but I am a cereal connoisseur. Freaking love cereal. And it is the hardest thing ever and the most confusing thing ever to go down that freaking aisle and pick a box of cereal. Because, you know, I eat very healthy, and I only have a box of cereal every once in a while. And so knowing that, I have to pick the one that's going to be the perfect one for me, or, you know, if I pick a crappy one, I'm kind of out of luck for the next couple of months. So it's a very crucial decision in my life, and kind of goes the same thing with picking a career. And what I suggest, and what I wish I really would have done earlier, is going out and basically, if you could, sampling the entire cereal aisle. Just go in, do your research. I'm not saying go and spend 30 grand on a bunch of mentors. I'm saying go and just learn for free as much as you can. If there's any really cheap and affordable courses that you can get for under $100, and you can just learn and get your toes wet and see if that is something that you enjoy doing, whether it is making money online, whether it is being a realtor, whether it is being any kind of 9-to-5 profession. What you want to do is get your feet wet, understand what that business is, and if you like it, jump into it and go fail. Fail often, fail forward. That's the biggest problem with schools, is they say failure equals bad. Failure doesn't equal bad. It's super easy to say that, and it's super easy to say, get up when you fail, because failing hurts. It sucks. You skin your knee, but you have to get back up and you have to go try again. And eventually you will find that business that just snaps and goes, boom, this is the one. And Amazon FBA was the one for me that did that for myself. And maybe that's for you. Maybe it's something different. It doesn't matter. It's just testing out, going out and seeing what works, and making sure you get a good feeling of all the different opportunities that are out there. When you find that one, or when you're testing all of them out, get experience. That's number 3, get experience. I understand that there's doubt in everything. Self-doubt is huge. You always think you are not qualified, you're not smart enough, you're not able to do what you think you can do, you're not able to teach someone. If you're a brand new realtor, be a realtor, sell the house, do all that, do the contracts and the paperwork. Self-doubt is everywhere, and you just have to just take that leap. As Steve Harvey says, every successful person, you just got to jump eventually. You're going to be falling. You may hit some rocks down on the way, scrape your back up on some things while you're falling through the air, but eventually your parachute will open. And your parachute will never open if you never jump. But if you never jump, you're just going to sit there and never soar. And that's the thing, is taking that jump and just freaking doing it. You just got to focus on putting one foot in front of the other. It's great to have these great massive goals. That is crucial. But when you're actually in the trenches doing it, you can't think of, for example, starting a YouTube channel and be like, okay, I got to get to 1 million subscribers. I got to get to 1 million subscribers. You just can be like, okay, let's get to 1. Let's get to 5. Let's get to 10. Let's try 100. Let's try 200. And it's putting one foot in front of the other, even maybe more micro step of, if you're starting a YouTube channel, say, okay, I got to get a microphone. Check. I've got to get a camera. Check. I've got to get a light. Check. I got to figure out how to film and how to not look like an idiot on camera. That may take a little bit longer. Sort of check. And you know how it goes. It's just being confident in yourself and putting one foot in front of the other. Number 4 is learn from others and replicate success. That's the thing, is there's only so many ways to skin the cat, and there's only so many ways that actually work. There's not unlimited ways to be successful in the world, not unlimited ways to be successful in a specific niche or industry. And that's the thing, is you don't want to go and try to necessarily be a pioneer in everything. Being a pioneer is fantastic, inventing and paving your own way, but at the same time, there's no reason to force that when there's obvious ways, proven ways to be successful in that industry or in that niche. And the idea is to study those people, study them, see what they're doing, see how they're doing, see how they're speaking, see what they're doing in their everyday life and replicating that. And a great way to do that is simply to work for free. And whether you personally know someone or you have to actually go out and message them. And if you message them, don't just copy and paste this piece of crap saying, hey, I'd really love to work for you and learn about your industry. Now, be personal with it. Really be upfront and clear with your intentions. Be kind, be a person, because I'm sure they get a bunch of messages a day, and it really means a lot when someone takes time out of their life to share their life secrets and their life lessons with you for free. And the thing is, the idea is to work for free, to give first. An example of that was when I thought being a loan officer assistant was for me. You know, it was at the time. I was excited. I was like, man, this is a new chapter of my life. And basically, I was trying to get this job, and I decided to just go in and say, hey, I want to just work for free. I want to come in and learn and do what I can for free. You don't have to pay me, because my boss, he was in the middle of a transition and was just like, it's just not really the right time. And you know what that kind of means. It's not the right time. So I went in there. I was like, I'm going to work for free, and he ended up hiring me. And that's kind of what got my foot in the door and what I was able to do to not only learn a lot, but like I said, get the job by getting my foot in the door by working for free. Number 5 is try as many things as possible. This kind of tie back up to number 2, and this is just try everything. Because when you are younger, when you are maybe a teenager or you are just on your own and don't have a family to support, you have a lot less liability to go and fail a lot. If you have a wife and 4 kids, 2 dogs, a pig, and a parrot, it's gonna say, okay, I need to be making at least X amount per month so I can feed my 2 dogs, my pig, my cat, and my parrot. I don't know if I added a cat in there, my 4 kids, and my wife. Obviously, if you go up and screw a bunch of businesses up and you can't feed your family, that's a problem. But when you're a teenager living under your parents' roof, or you are just living by yourself, hoofing it, living the bachelor life, you don't have a high expense. Maybe you got, the basic necessities of life, and maybe you have some savings and you can go and be more risky. And that's the thing, is take risks and try a bunch of different things. And that kind of is number 6 as well, is take risks. The liabilities aren't there as much as they would be in the future. Because guys, the earlier you can start, the earlier you can retire. If you are smart about it, if you are disciplined and focused and work your butt off. If you think you're working hard, that's something I learned recently, and I try to keep myself reminded of that, is if you think you're working hard, you're not working hard. You're not working hard, you're not working smart. You're not doing enough, you're not doing better, you're not doing good enough. Just like with weight loss. If you think you're lean, if you're shredded, if you think you're ripped, you're not. You're not. Do it better, get better. If you think you're, oh man, my 6-pack's showing really great, you're like 12% body fat. That's not good. Get down to 7, get down to 6. Always push yourself to better. It is never good enough. If you live that life of chasing more and trying to be better, there is no way to fail. And that's what I try to push myself to do every single day, and I encourage you to do the same. So my friends, if you enjoyed this video, if you found any value in this, if you found this helpful, if you're gonna take action on any of this, drop this video a like, subscribe down below so you can stay up to date with all these videos, all of this free value I wanna put out and help you guys with, because that's what I enjoy. I love seeing results. I love hearing when people said, hey, I made your day. When people say, hey, you made my day, or hey, you really helped me with this, or man, you're so inspiring. It's not something that feeds my ego, it just makes me happy, and I love to be able to help people and to be able to hear when people say, hey, Rhett, high five, man, you did a great job. And I guess every like and every subscribe and every bell ring helps me know that I'm helping some people out, and it makes me happy. So guys, if you like the video, drop a like, and I will see you next time.